Reflecting on my work from last week, in which I had begun an entirely new piece with the challenge of representing something other than an architectural column of the classical order, I've been thinking about how different types of painting challenges require different headspaces, and how important it is for me to be working on multiple pieces at once. I started noticing how each piece, which I'm working on right now, actually calls for a completely different mode of thinking. Sisyphus is at a point of refining the textures and dealing with very fine surface work. That mindset is quiet, focused, and almost meditative, and I need to be careful not to overwork things, especially when I've already made strong moves in the earlier stages with this one. In fact, I'm thinking that I'm possibly already there or at the final 1%. Then there's Eurydice. That one's still in the compositional phase, and I'm figuring out where things go, how the visual weight is distributed, and what the color scheme actually wants to be. That requires a looser, more exploratory headspace, and it's the kind of work that can't be rushed by trying to add detail before the structure is ready to hold it, even though I am always tempted to do that. And then there's Prometheus, which I haven't introduced yet. This one sits somewhere in the middle. I'm happy with the palette and with the basic composition, but I haven't built the texture up yet or fully figured out the gesture and the movement I want the surface to have. It's like standing at the edge of a decision of whether I start layering or whether I wait for more clarity. This one is actually the toughest for me to work on right now because it's so in the middle. So rather than going completely one by one, I tend to move between the pieces, not completely randomly, but a little bit intentionally based on where my mindset is. When I feel like I'm not in the right headspace for the piece in front of me, I try not to push it. I just shift, because there's always something productive I can do if I listen to where I'm at mentally and match that with where the painting is in its own evolution. And that allows me to be the most productive and not push things in a direction where they shouldn't be going. And while I would like to set a hard goal to have all of these finished by a particular date, I may have a sort of date in the back of my head, like a couple of weeks from now, when I would like these all to be completed, but I have to know that that date is loose, because pushing for one particular date arbitrarily is never the best answer I've found in my experience. So I guess that's really the trick, knowing when to keep going and when to step away. And I find the best is to always step away from work on a particular piece when I'm feeling positive, because once it turns negative, it's harder to get in the next day.